Hello everyone, my name is Zafar, and in today's video we are going to make a simple Jenkins project. So for this project I have used this repo. You can find the link in the repo and everything will be available in this repository. So there are some prerequisites for this project. So let's go through that. First of all, we need to install Java. First of all, we need to create a AWS instance and then install Java. Then we will install Jenkins, and once the initial configuration of the Jenkins is done, like setting up the first user and changing the passwords and everything, after that we will install Docker and give the necessary permissions for Docker. Then okay, so if you want to skip these kind of things, installations and everything, I have made an install.sh file. Here you can see everything is here, so everything will be installed. Okay, now let's look at our Jenkins pipeline. So if you can see in here, so I have created a simple, this is a simple Jenkins pipeline. So we have triggered GitHub hook for git scam pooling for automatic detection of any changes. Then this is the configuration we will be using: pipeline script from svm git, and this is the URL for the repository, and that's all. Branch is main, and that's all. So if you want to learn about the pipeline syntax, you can use the pipeline syntax and go here and you see. So this will generate GitHub repo. So generate pipeline. So here you go. So it's pretty easy. If you still don't know, you can ask the ChatGPT. And now let's go through how this project will work. Now developer will push the code to GitHub, and once the code is pushed to the GitHub, the changes will be detected by the Jenkins because we have already done the GitHub part, and GitHub Jenkins will pull the code and directly deploy it to first build a Docker image. Now we are not pushing the Docker image into the Docker repo, and then we are just building the image and keeping it on the AWS host itself. It will build the Docker image, deploy it on EC2 instance, and whenever there are any changes in the GitHub repo, it will do the same. So if there is any container related change, it will reflect those change definitely. Now first let's go through the install.sh file which I have provided here. So as you can see, this will sudo apt update, and this will install the Jenkins. This will install the Java. Then we need to install Jenkins. So here these commands will install Jenkins. Then we need to enable this Jenkins and start the server for Jenkins, right? So after that we need to install Docker. So these are the commands. I have copied these commands from the official documentations. So these are also for the Docker here. So this is just for the test run, and this is for Jenkins user to the Docker group. This is to give necessary permissions and everything. Okay, that's all from the install sh. Let's understand the Jenkins file now. So coming to the Jenkins file, as you can see, the first section of the file, that is this one. Agent any, it means that the pipeline will run on any available agent. The next thing is environment. We are actually defining environmental variables which will be used throughout the pipeline. Now first, that is Docker image to be used. In our case, that will be Zafavani/family v1, and new container, current container, and old container labels. These are just labels that are used for the Docker containers. And then we have final port where the container will be exposed, in this case. Now we have stages. The first stage is to verify whether the Docker has access or not. The second stage is to build the image, Docker image. And the third stage is it will stop and remove any existing container labeled with current container label. And the last stage and the next stage is deploy new container. It will deploy a new container and it will be specified with the final port label with current container label. Then we have post actions, which will defines actions to be executed after all stages, in this case regardless of failure or success. Let's make a change in our index.html to see if this is working properly. So I will let's first check whatever I have running here. So as you can see, I have two containers here in my A. One is running and one is not running. Please avoid this one. So yeah, so this is our container which is already running. I actually did some tests before running it. So let's make some changes and see how it changed. We can see the name here, so let's do some changes. So I will do this is basically, as you can see here, it shows family website only. So if I do this change, this will become my website. So commit change, and if we go here, dashboard, so you will definitely see this working. So first project, so if we can go into logs, here you can check the logs, success. Now if we go here and do, here you can see the name has changed and it's working. So if we go here and refresh this, here you can see my website. Thank you so much. Have a great night.